Do you actively post on YouTube, make reels, shorts, and find that the comments section gets littered with so much hate? Let's jump into it. If you do social media long enough, some of your content is just going to strike a nerve with some people that come across it. Now, I would say this is not all the time, but it happens a lot of the times. And I have pinpointed a lot of the comments and can tell the age they're coming from and the types of people that they come from. Now, I check out social media quite a bit throughout the day, the morning time, of the evening time, checking some of the groups that I'm in, reading posts, see if there's anything interesting that I'm researching, or just in general, some of the people that I follow. And in a lot of these communities, you just have people that are joined in these communities that love to poke the bear.
I'm always angry.
I see a lot of new anglers. I see a lot of new kayakers post to ask a question. And the amount of smart remarks that you see is mind-boggling. I think some of these people just have social media to troll people and to poke fun. I think it just does something for them where they have to continuously do it. Now, I'm not saying that it's the vast majority of people that are in these groups, but I would say there is a fair good percentage of people in these groups and even on YouTube that post videos and content, and the comment section just goes with some of these comments. Now, I like to watch YouTube, and there's some creators and channels that I watch, to really study and learn how they do their videos, how they are editing their videos, the B-roll. I think as a creator, it kind of helps you to get an idea of some things that are working and things that don't work. Trial and error. And I don't copy these people, but I just try to get ideas on how are they doing their videos, not getting ideas on what I'm going to do my video on, because I think you have to have your own original content. If you're starting a YouTube channel or you're doing a YouTube channel and you're just going to start copying what some of these other creators are doing, I think you're going to find out really fast that your channel is going to go nowhere and it's just going to tank.
I hate it. I'm out.
I think you have to find your niche, and I think you have to play into that, and I think you just have to make your type of content, and it'll either take off, it'll be a slow burn, or it's just going to be a long grind, or it may fall flat on its face. But when you start to put the content out there, be prepared. Be very prepared for the people. We like to call them keyboard warriors that will come out of the woodwork to leave you a nice little comment on your video, But here's how you have to look at that. Don't get argumentative in the comment section. I think it kind of gives yourself a bad look if you start arguing with people that are on your channel. Most people might see that and say, well, this guy, A, can't take a joke, or B, gets very defensive. Look at it this way. Any comments, likes that you're getting on a video, the algorithm only sees that. It is not seeing the actual comments. So just kind of think of those comments, even if they are stupid, they don't mean anything, just think of those as fuel for the algorithm to get that video to keep pushing and trending up. Yeah! So during hunting season, I posted a short for a long form video that I did. It was called Heartbreak on the Farm. Now, on and off, I have deer hunted the majority of my life. It's been over 30 years. I know how to shoot bows. I know how to shoot crossbows. I know how to shoot pew-pews. But in hunting, not every time does it work out perfect. Let's just say sometimes things happen while you're hunting and may not go as according as planned, but it can make for really good, authentic content. So in this video, I had been hunting on a farm in Virginia, and for a couple seasons, I have really never seen a big buck on this farm. And this particular morning, it was really foggy. Temperature was a little cool. And about an hour or so after I had set up and I was sitting in the woods, I actually had a buck to show up. And what transpired next led to the heartbreak. So this deer was to my left on top of a ridge, at least 100 yards above me, and it was working its way down the ridge. So I was looking, trying to position myself. I was sitting on the ground. I was not in a blind, so I was out in the open. So I was trying to position myself and my rifle on my bipod and get a clear shooting lane when this buck hit a certain point. Now, the buck stops about halfway, and I kind of lose the buck in my scope. So I pull back off my scope so I can try to see the buck, and I see the buck start walking again, and I look and I see this opening. So I had picked up my death grip bipod and my gun was mounted on it, and I swung it over to that opening. And when that deer, the buck, hit the opening, I pulled the trigger. I saw the buck hunker down, sprint off. I waited for a little while. I went over and I checked where I had shot, and I had seen where the deer had dug into the ground. So I get home after hunting and I pull up the footage, and I'm got it on the TV watching it, and I see what happened during the hunt. My bullet had hit a branch sticking down, and it pushed the bullet to the left. You could actually see the bullet hit a tree and fall down. Now, I created a short for that video to try to drive traffic to the video, And when I posted that short, it started taking off. Within a couple hours, it was like at 60, 70,000 views, and I was just getting comment after comment after comment. But the amount of comments that I got, and on that short at the end, I had put that the full story was live on YouTube, pointing to the long form video of that hunt. But the comment section was something like this: "You need to learn how to shoot. My God, I can't believe you missed that. You got buck fever." But I would say probably 30 to 40% of the comment section were comments like that. Now, that just pushed that short even harder. So all my comments were basically replies that said, check out the full story on YouTube. And the people that did comment, that kind of understood, I replied to those comments. But all the hate comments, basically I just left comments saying, hey, check out the full story, see the context. But I never had one person that come back and said they watched the full video and left a comment. So that tells me they just zeroed in on that short and decided that they were going to make a judgment off of a 15-second short that they saw and had no context to what had happened during that hunt. So that kind of leads in to the part that I want to talk about, is the attention spans. And I think this is where a lot of this comes from, is you try to make shorts and videos in a shorter form to keep people pulled in, to keep people's attention. Attention spans nowadays are just horrible. I mean, you probably got 3 seconds to really hook someone into a video, and if you cannot hook them in, they're out. And I'm finding that all the platforms are really just pushing for the short reel type formats. Long form is just a hard road to go now, because people just don't want to sit and watch videos anymore. They want to just constantly scroll 5-10 seconds. When you get a short and it's over 100% retention, 120%, that means that people are looping your short. They're watching it and they're watching it again, or a portion of it again. So your shorts that perform well have a higher retention rate. On your long forms, that is your click-through rate. And you got to get them there, and you got to keep them entertained. All right, YouTube said you can help this video if you're not subscribed. Hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell so you can be notified when I drop videos. Hit the like button, and if you like it enough, hit the share button. Fast forward to about a month ago, I was doing a kayak fishing tournament, and they were having a bass boat tournament that day. I was launching from the boat ramp where the tournament was going on. It was closest ramp to me in the area I wanted to fish. And when I got there, the parking lot was just completely full with bass boats. And I waited until all the bass boats had launched. There was just a couple in the parking lot that were getting things ready. And I know it takes me just a little bit longer to get my kayak set up, to get it to the point where I can back it down and launch it out in the water. So I knew that, so I had waited. When I'm launching my kayak, I try to hurry because I know it does take me a little bit longer, and the way that I have to do it, it is a slower process. So I back down the ramp, and I didn't think anything of it. My truck has automatic headlights, and they're bright, I'm not going to lie. And I backed down the ramp, got out, unhooked the strap that was holding my kayak, and hooked up my tether strap. So when I backed in and pulled forward with the truck, it would pull the kayak in so I could then get out and tie it up. And then after I tied up, I pretty much moved the truck. There was a guy in a bass boat backing down, and he had some choice words because I had left my lights on. Now, I was all the way over in the farthest lane you could get out of the way, and I waited for that lane particularly. And this gentleman is just being a jerk. And, I mean, I get it. I left my lights on. I'm not denying that. But to me, there's a proper way to have a conversation with someone. So I wasn't too nice to the guy back. I posted in one of our groups about that instance, but it was also a post about how my tournament results went that day. So it was a little bit of a lengthy post, and that post on Facebook had gotten 48,000 views. I think less than 5% of all of the comments that I had on that, which were quite a bit, less than 5% were actually comments talking about how, the guy could have approached me better, but all the majority of the comments that were posted was just pretty much telling me that I've got to learn boat ramp etiquette. Should have turned my lights off. I should have known better. I mean, it just went on and on and on. But here's what I learned on that post. In that post, I had posted that for the first time in the third or fourth tournament that I had done, that I had actually caught fish that I was able to register on Tourney X, and that I had a pretty good day. Not one comment pointed to the positive in that post. Everything was about the negative. And that got me to thinking, we as a society have just become used to being so negative. It is just hard anymore to find the positives. I mean, I try to find the positive in everything that I do, and I hate negativity. But anymore on social media, I mean, that is all it has turned into, is just negative after negative after negative. And I think anymore people just live for when people post on social media and YouTube, because they love to get on the keyboard, on their phone, on their laptop, and they love to just stir the pot and just put comments out there. Now, I find that a lot of these, especially on YouTube, are kids. You can tell by how they type, you can tell when you click on their YouTube name that these are kids. But what gets me is the adults, like grown adults, that A, can't spell, B, are worse at posting negativity than the kids are. And as a newer YouTuber, social media person, like if you're just starting out and that is all you're seeing, it may push you away really, really quick. I see a lot of videos where people turn off comments because they don't want to deal with all the commenting. I just look at it as you're just throwing fuel onto the flames for the algorithm. Now, I approach my content a certain way. It's authentic. It's not for everybody. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. I try to make the best I can of my trips. When I'm fishing, I'm not catching fish. I try to make it funny, enjoyable. It's still content. But I get it. It's not for everybody. Even on the big creators that I'm seeing, there is a lot of negative people on the comment section that just love to try to poke the bear with the negativity. You know, I've even seen in a lot of the groups that I'm in that people are posting that they are leaving the group because of all the negativity and just the negative post. And every time they post something, there's just so many negative comments. And, you know, that's not why they joined the group to begin with. And for them, it's just no fun being in the group anymore. And the comment section in those videos are like, bye, Felicia, and, you know, no need to post a comment, just leave the room. And like when someone is even saying, I don't like the negativity, there's negativity. And I think as a whole in general, especially for, you know, the outdoor community, it just gives the outdoor community just a bad look. You know, especially like take hunting, for instance. You get little Timmy that kills a small buck, and that might be his first buck, and post a picture, and he's all excited. And the comment section is, I can't believe you shot something that small. Or, I would have let that deer walk. And I can't believe that you would shoot a spike. You can get scorned if you're using a cheaper rod and reel combo, if you're using specific lines or specific baits. People will be quick to tell you that you're using cheap stuff and that's why you're not catching fish. Or, you know, if you catch a little dinky bass, and you might get obliterated with comments talking about how puny your bass is. I could care less. Here's what I will tell you. Somebody that's almost 50, I enjoy every chance I get to go fishing. Some days I'm just happy if I catch an 8-9 inch dink. There's times you go fishing, you don't even get a bite, you don't catch nothing. So, and I ain't going to edit that out of my video. Like if I catch a 9-inch dink, guess what? It's going in my video. I'm proud of it. You may not be proud of it, but if you want to leave a negative comment, go right ahead. Help the algorithm push the video out even further. That's how I look at it. Now, I will say it's not every video. It's not every short that you post. Not every reel, not every Facebook post. There are a lot of positives. I don't find it to be all the time. I think that the few times that you do get it make up for the times that you don't get it. So you just have to take those posts where you get it, and you just got to move on. You can't dwell on it. You can't sit on it. You can't let it steal your thunder. Can't let it ruin your mood. All right, we're going to wrap it up. If you don't mind, hit the like and subscribe button and give me a follow. We'll see you on the next video. Did you get that too?
Me if you can. I got power in my hands. So catch me if you can. I was born